for many years now to work with high net worth individuals. And at a certain point, when they realize I have the money and I can make more of it, I can start another business and make more money. When they hit that point, what they all want, expression.
This is The Deep Dive with Adam Roa.
It's me, Adam Roa. I am here with another Deep Dive Musing, and today I want to talk about creativity, specifically about a recent ceremony that I had. There was no plant medicine involved. I just set up a ceremony for myself to devote myself to the muse of creativity, to devote my life to creativity as a path, as a lens, as the true reason I'm here, to spread the message of creativity across the planet. And it's funny because I've said this to some people in my life and they said, weren't you already doing that? Like everything you do is creative and creativity. That isn't it that what you're already doing? And literally I'm filming, I think, the first ever Deep Dive podcast outdoors, as even we're just embracing, let's get creative on this one. And the answer is no. And yes, because my life has been about creativity, because I actually think all our lives are about creativity. And I'm going to explain that. But I've never devoted my life to anything. As weird as that sounds, you know, I feel like, oh, I was devoted to love, or I was devoted to being a vessel for spirit. Yes. Those are aspects of who I am and why I'm here. And to say I'm here to spread your message, to the muse of creativity, I'm here to spread your message, is something new. You know, to devote my life to creativity means to take the lens of creativity to every aspect of my life and everything I do. And it has changed how I coach. It has changed how I do these podcasts. If you've noticed with my guests, what are we doing right now? We are basically taking an unanswerable question, a deep dive question, and exploring it instead of doing these interviews, because I said, well, everyone's doing interviews. Pretty much every podcast, you just get an expert on and then you talk to them about what they're already an expert on. That's not creative anymore to me. That doesn't feel creative. So how can I get creative? So that's an example of how everything I was already doing shifted, even just saying I now am here for creativity. And I want to explain why, because I think that's really important. The reasons that I've arrived at this decision for myself are applicable to your life through this lens. And before I do that, I just want to say a big thank you to those of you who've been leaving reviews on this podcast. It means the world to me. It is helping us get this spread, the algorithms, and be found in the search, all of those things. So thank you. And for those of you who have not yet actually left a review, please do so. It takes about 30 seconds and it would mean a lot. So, yeah, thank you. Let's get back to it. Creativity. So for most of my life, I have walked through the personal development world thinking, what's the next thing that I can find that's, quote, wrong, end quote, or broken, or needs to be fixed, or is just less effective or less efficient. Let me find that thing and I will resolve it. I'll fix it. I'll figure out how to do it better. I'll uncover the wounds and I'll heal them, and I'll process and I'll feel, and therefore I'll heal. And the thing about that is it's not sustainable. I don't believe it's sustainable. And the reason why I don't believe it's sustainable is because it's not fun. I actually think that if it's not fun, it's not sustainable. We only want to, over a long period of time, continue doing something that we actually enjoy doing. And in the process of personal development, I was enjoying the breakthrough. I was enjoying the expansion. I was enjoying going, I worked through that scarcity story and now I'm here. I was enjoying that high. However, the process itself no longer felt like it was balanced with that high. After years and years of searching in the shadow for the next thing to resolve, I got to this place where I said, searching in the shadow is exhausting me. I feel like it's a never-ending journey, and all I'm doing is finding more stuff that's wrong with me, and I don't know how to fix it. And once I get through this thing, there's just going to be another one. So what's the point? Can you relate to that? Do you know what I'm saying? I've met so many people in this spiritual community, the personal development world, who feel very similarly. Like at a certain point, we hit burnout on the personal development path. And what used to be the payoff that would motivate us to keep doing the work no longer feels as enticing. It's kind of like someone who has no money starts making money. The money is like, oh yeah. But then once you have money, the money's no longer motivating. The money's no longer a reason to work the job that you hate. It's no longer strong enough of a pull to get you through the resistance. And so as I was exploring this within myself, and this part of me that was experiencing resistance to going back in to do more work on myself, I approached the path through play. And then I noticed that play for me is through creativity. That's why so many people have said, well, isn't that what you're already doing in your life? Being a full-time creative? And I was like, kinda, but that's because I was playing. Creating music, creating this podcast, creating new videos, creating poetry. I love to create. That's play for me. And here's the thing about that. The moment that you step onto the path of creativity, you are going to have all of your shadow and your shit and your limiting beliefs and your fears and your doubts and insecurities. They're going to rise to the surface. You will see all those parts of you from childhood that were told, oh, you're not a good singer, you're not the athletic one, you're not the pretty one, your sister's the pretty one. You know, all of those stories that we take on in our youth that then become the limiting beliefs and the fears and doubts and insecurities of our adulthood. We actually face off with those when we say, I want to create. When I say I want to start singing, all of the parts of me that say you're not a good singer, people are gonna make fun of you, you're gonna be outcast. All of that stuff rises up. And it's not just about singing and dancing and that sort of stuff. It's also when I say I want to start a new business. I want to create a new business. I want to become an entrepreneur. Oh, I'm not smart enough. I don't have enough credentials. No one cares what I have to say. Those things will rise to the surface. The parts of you that have feared being seen, because that's creativity we do for us, but then expressing that creativity outwardly takes courage. Because I believe that art is the expression of creative energy into tangible form. And I believe that your creative energy is the unique expression of your soul. It is the essence of your soul, uniquely you, traveling through you out into the world. And so your art, whether that be a painting, a dance, or an app that you've designed, or just the food you make for your family, your art is an expression of your soul. And to have that art rejected or judged is a very scary thing, to have your soul feel rejected or judged. And so there's a level of courage that you have to step into to enter into the path of creativity. And in that process, you are strengthening yourself. You're actually getting the payoff of moving through your fears, doubts, and insecurities. That's the same process, by the way, of going and taking a workshop or a Tony Robbins seminar and then getting 5 days of realizing, oh my gosh, my mom never acknowledged my drawings when I was a kid, and my dad used to take them off of the refrigerator, and I just felt like I wasn't a good artist, so I stopped drawing even though I loved it so much. That you can go and find that out and work through that and cry about it and all that stuff. Sure, absolutely. But if you've just gone searching for it, what are you left with? when you're on the path of creativity, if your creativity, your desire for creation is the thing that sparked that awareness in the first place, the cool thing is as you work through it, the payoff is not just the inner strength that you are developing as a result of working through it, not just the healing and the expansion that happens when you're no longer carrying the density of all of those old stories. Not just that, you have something tangible. You have your creativity expressed. And in that expression, you've deepened your self-worth. Because you've said, I'm worthy of expressing. That's powerful. That is so powerful. And not only that, it's fun. It's so much fun. You want to know why I create so much? Because it's so much freaking fun. And I've had the opportunity through my one-on-one coaching work for many years now to work with high net worth individuals. And at a certain point, when they realize I have the money and I can make more of it, I can start another business and make more money. When they hit that point, what they all want? Expression. They all want to feel like their unique voice is being expressed out into the world and they are leaving their stamp. And so, why wait? Start now. This path of creativity is the sustainable path because that what I said at the beginning, where it's a never-ending well of, oh, here's this wound, here's this thing, I got to work on this, whatever. Yes, that's true. It will never stop. As you evolve, as you grow, you will continue to encounter the parts of you that you haven't yet expanded beyond. Those are the edges of your comfort zone. Those are the edges of your consciousness. And that's okay, because that's just the process. But when we recognize that that process is never ending, then what that does is that opens us up to the realization that, well, if the process is never going to end, then the entirety of all of this is about, do I enjoy the process? Can I enjoy the never-ending process, or do I just put myself into a hell of just hating it? Even though I'm going to continue doing it, I'm going to hate it the entire time. So it's the sustainable path of personal development. It's the more fun path of personal development. It is the thing that when all of your needs are met is still alive in people. To express, to get creative. And here's the other aspect of this on the collective, just meta, that I'm just going to mention briefly. It's also the way in which we collectively evolve and elevate the consciousness of this planet to a point where we can all thrive. Because our current systems are outdated. They've gotten us to this place. Thank you, systems. We appreciate you. And they are no longer going to support where we are going. That's why they're crumbling down. That's why the political system, the economic system, the medical system, the education system, they're all crumbling down. They're all asking to be shifted. How are we going to shift that? We get to get creative. We have to have new ideas. We have to innovate. And that is through creativity. And so through your own creativity, you are giving permission for yourself to expand, to grow. You're giving permission for other people to say, oh, I want to do that too. And you are supporting the entire collective in growing, evolving into a new paradigm in which everyone feels seen, heard, and loved. In which everyone thrives. In which we've developed the technologies, the systems, the ways of interacting and communicating, in which poverty, world hunger, genocide, racism, abuse, all of this can go. And that is why I am devoted to creativity. Everything I do now comes from a lens of, is this allowing me to express my creativity? And is it encouraging the expression of creativity in others? That's my lens on everything I do, from this podcast to the YouTube channel, to the books, to the retreats, to even I'm leading a 4-month creativity coaching program with Gerard Adams. Why? Because we did this mastermind in Mexico, and we had all these high-level entrepreneurs who were a part of it, who we could feel wanted to express. We could feel had something, a creative project that they wanted to birth to the world. And so we said, let's do it. Let's support people in doing that. And that is the type of coaching I now do, taking people through immersions that is based in creativity and dealing with what comes up and rises to the surface and coaching through that process of creativity. This is the lens that I now wear. That's what it means to be devoted to it. My life is devoted to this because I believe it is the highest path of our growth, because it's the most sustainable, it's the most enjoyable, and it is just as effective. So that's what I'm about. Allow me to reintroduce myself. Thank you for being on this path. I encourage you to explore your creativity, to express your creativity. If you want any support in that, there's tons of opportunities. thecreatecommunity.com. Come check out my online community where creativity is a part of the 3 pillars that we teach. Message me, let me know if you're interested in being a part of a creativity retreat or a group program. And most importantly, share your creativity with the world. Express it. Let people know you're doing it so that they can be inspired and receive the permission from you to do the same. That's how we shift. That's how we up-level. That's how we grow together. Thank you so much for growing with me. I want to remind you that always, in all ways, you are seen, you are heard, and you are loved.